Sandra Bullock is one of the most widely beloved stars in Hollywood, but she's managed to keep a rather tight lid on her personal life. Join Facts First as Sandra Bullock leaves nothing to the imagination. Sandra Bullock is an honorary German. Sandra was born in Virginia in 1964, but she spent much of her early childhood traveling around the world on account of her father's position in the U.S. Army. The location she spent most of her formative years was in Germany, which is where her father met her mother. Her mother was a German woman named Helga Meyer. During Sandra's childhood, her mother made a living touring Europe as an opera singer. In addition to being a successful performer, Sandra's mother was also considered somewhat of a fashionista and a sex symbol in the area where they grew up. Sandra has recalled men whistling and catcalling on account of her mother's homemade dresses, which is something that embarrassed her as a child but went on to influence her quite a bit as an adult. Now that she's grown up herself, she appreciates what her mother was going for. As a result of growing up in Germany, Sandra is also the rare American actress who can speak fluent German. By the time she entered high school, her family had made the journey back to America. She went to Washington Lee High School in Arlington, Virginia. She took up with the cheerleading team while there and already had a predilection for performing thanks to her opera singer mother. And her time with the cheerleading squad instilled in her a love of dance. Several years back, she confessed in an interview that she still holds on to her high school cheerleading uniform as an adult, claiming it's sexy. Sandra's first role was in an Off-Broadway production. After graduating from college, Sandra traveled to New York City, aspiring to make a name for herself as an actress on stage. She made her first notable appearance on stage in 1988, appearing in an Off-Broadway production called No Time Flat. It was only a few years later that she got her big break in the blockbuster film Speed. Speed was released in 1994, and the action film proved the vehicle that made Sandra Bullock into a big-name star. It also solidified the star status of fledgling performer Keanu Reeves, who was previously best known for his role in the stoner comedy Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. According to Sandra, she and Keanu started up a lifelong friendship on set. Action films can be notoriously difficult to shoot, but it seems the two performers had a pretty good time together over the course of production. There have been rumors that the pair became a romantic item around that time, but Sandra denies this. When it came time to make a sequel, the producers understandably wanted to get them both back, but Keanu had the good sense to turn the absurd idea for the sequel down. Sandra, on the other hand, was able to be convinced to become the only major player from the original to return. To this day, Sandra claims that appearing in 1997's Speed 2 Cruise Control has been one of the biggest regrets of her career. Since Keanu couldn't be secured, the male lead went to Jason Patric. Meanwhile, the main antagonist was played by Willem Dafoe. Sandra regrets appearing in Speed 2. Sandra Bullock let her opinion on having appeared in Speed 2 be known during a recent interview alongside Harry Potter actor Daniel Radcliffe, with whom she appeared alongside in 2022's The Lost City. When Sandra spilled the beans that she regretted starring in the blockbuster sequel, Daniel chimed in that he is one of the few people in existence that actually has positive memories of the movie. Appearing in it certainly didn't do much to hurt Sandra's career, and she has effortlessly maintained her star status until today. Sandra has been a prominent figure in Hollywood for about 3 decades, and it appears as if she's there to stay. In recent years, she's appeared in notable hits like Gravity, The Proposal, and Bird Box. Not only have these films won immense acclaim with critics, but they've also been successes with audiences. It seems Sandra is everyone's darling, and there are few people who can get enough of the starlet. She has an Academy Award to her name too, having won for Best Actress in 2010 for her work in the popular drama The Blind Side. In 2014, she was nominated for a second Academy Award for Best Actress, this time for her work in Gravity. Directed by Alfonso Cuarón, the 3D science fiction film showed that a special effects extravaganza could still be a hit with critics, though Sandra sadly lost her Oscar to Cate Blanchett. Cate won for Blue Jasmine, though Sandra still came out of 2014 as the highest-paid actress in the world. That year, she made $51 million as a result of her appearances in various films. The second highest paid was Jennifer Lawrence at $34 million. Sandra is also a notable television producer. Based on Sandra's pay stubs from 2014, it's not hard to see that she's managed to find incredible success as an actress. However, fans might be surprised to learn there are other venues where she's just as successful. She's a TV producer, having helped comedian George Lopez secure his self-titled series on ABC. When the series George Lopez came on the air in 2002, it proved a big step up for the beloved comedian. Viewers who were paying careful attention may have noticed Sandra's name in the credits and had made it her business to be his most powerful Hollywood connection. She used her power to help George get the show, and the rest is history. She also guest starred on the series around the time when it first aired. However, she hasn't made a return to television in the nearly 2 decades since. Instead, the majority of her work has been up on the big screen, where she belongs. When she's not working on a new film, Sandra spends most of her time with her family. She's currently romantically involved with a photographer named Brian Randall, whom she began dating in 2015. She has 3 children, 2 of whom are adopted. Before becoming involved with Brian, Sandra was romantically involved with a couple other notable people. She's been married once, and the man she married might seem like an odd choice from the outside looking in. In 2005, she married Jesse James, an automotive mechanic who became famous thanks to his hit reality series Monster Garage. Monster Garage came on the air in 2002 and ended its original run just a year after the two tied the knot. One might wonder why one of the most popular film actresses in the world felt the need to set her sights on a reality TV star, but love works in mysterious ways. And the two had a messy and public divorce in 2010 after Jesse was caught cheating. More secrets from Sandra's personal life. Shortly after divorcing from Jesse James, Sandra could be seen in the tabloids going on dates with movie star Ryan Reynolds. The two met while filming the romantic comedy The Proposition. Other notable actors she's dated over the years include Matthew McConaughey and Ryan Gosling. Sandra has no problem pulling in men who are a good deal younger than her, as the 58-year-old actress looks incredibly good for her age. One of her shocking beauty tips is the fact that she uses hemorrhoid cream on her face. She says using it as a facial ointment is a common thing in Hollywood, as the cream really does wonders at making lines disappear. Now it's time to hear from you. Did you know Sandra Bullock's mother was a famous opera singer in Germany? Let us know in the comments section below.